The Department of Public Health and Human Services is pleased to bring you Aging Horizons. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, fraud, legal issues, veterans benefits, and caregiving. Aging Horizons is a program dedicated to inform and prepare Montanans on these timely issues, making a difference to you and your loved ones. Here now is today's program host.
Hi folks, welcome back to another great edition of Aging Horizons. Today we'll be talking about centenarians. We'll be talking about the 51st Governor's Conference on Aging, and we'll talk about the department that puts it on, which is the Department of Public Health and Human Services. We've got a lot of great guests here, great topics. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
This is Bill. He just received his new Medicare card and is following some simple rules to protect himself from fraud. He knows to never give out his Medicare, Social Security, or bank number over the phone. And this is Nancy. She knows that to detect any problems, she always reads her Medicare Summary Notice or Medicare Advantage EOB to make sure the billing is correct. Both Bill and Nancy know that anything suspicious can be reported to Montana SMP at 1-800-551-3191.
I've been shooting since I was young. It's something I've always enjoyed. I wasn't feeling like myself, but my friend noticed. He asked if he could hold onto my guns temporarily. At first, I was a little shocked, but then I agreed. I think he saved my life that day.
In 20 years at an electric utility, I've seen the hardships many of our neighbors face with high winter heating bills.
Ross Holter, Flathead Electric Co-op.
That's why I donate to Energy Share of Montana. I just hate the thought of senior citizens, and young kids especially, being cold in the winter. Donate to Energy Share. Help your neighbor stay warm.
To donate, call 888-779-7589 or go to EnergyShareMT.com. Energy Share, you can help your neighbor stay warm.
Every 65 seconds, someone is affected with Alzheimer's or other dementias. Many become isolated at a time when help is most needed. If you or someone you love is affected, help is available, both for people with memory loss and their caregivers. Memory loss can feel frightening, but you are not alone. Call the free 24/7 Alzheimer's Association helpline, 800-272-3900, for guidance and support.
Hi folks, welcome to Aging Horizons, which is brought to you by the Department of Public Health and Human Services. I'm your host, Brian Lamore, and today we'll be talking about the Governor's Conference and all the wonderful things they do here. Of course, we have a wonderful guest. We have Jackie Stokel, and she is putting the conference on. This is the 51st. It's called Rock Your Age. We're having a lot of fun here in Billings and have a lot of wonderful guests that are presenting to us. So Jackie, let's start at the top. Governor's Conference, 51st. Where do you start in putting on a conference?
Probably 2 years before. Yeah. We just start by building a crew of folks that are in that local area, and then we're able to just put together a theme and put together lots of topics that center around that theme.
Yeah, and what are some of the big topics around this theme that you are focused on?
The national level looks at connecting and contributing and creativity, and so we just kind of jumped on that, but you also said engage in community. So a lot of our topics and our presenters talk about community and being creative and how to enhance their communities. We're also looking at topics, of course, around Alzheimer's, opioid addiction, health alternatives. It's just a whole menagerie of topics.
Yeah, well, we're down here. We have the full conference rooms full of people. They're learning. But who are the people that come to the Governor's Conference? Well, can you generalize?
They're mostly our seniors from all walks of life, especially our baby boomers are coming in. Caregivers are a really important part of that. We have a lot of folks that work in our senior services that are learning all sorts of new information, but also passing on information to our seniors for as resources.
Yeah, and I know conferences are really nice because you get to meet other people. There's a lot of interaction going on.
Yes, there is, and there's an awful lot of topics that get that interaction going on also. We're having a drumming demonstration and light therapy, but also a spoke shop is coming in to demonstrate it like an e-bike bike, and someone's coming in to demonstrate pickleball.
Pickleball, oh, okay.
So we thought that was kind of great.
Well, I know all those topics from my friends. I'll have
Yeah,
to
there you
attend. But this is an opportunity to recognize people too.
Yes.
And you have mini grants?
Yes, we do. We have given out 6 awards for mini grants, and it helps programs like senior centers and other services within very small communities under 10,000 population. Sometimes it helps with just simple repair or a simple, like they need a refrigerator. Some get really creative with that particular grant. And they can go up to about $1,000. We awarded up to $950, I think, is what the award was.
And that makes all the difference for
Yes,
these
it does.
little places. We've been doing that a long time, haven't
Yes,
we?
we have been.
So they enjoy it. But we also recognize centenarians.
Yes.
And what is a centenarian, and how do we recognize them?
Well, a centenarian, I used to know how to pronounce that word. A centenarian is a person that is 100 years and over, and we're celebrating all centenarians that are 100 or turning 100 this year. We have several ones that are like 105, 106. We actually have 2 110-year-olds. So they're known as super centenarians, and we think that we're hoping that the one makes it today, coming down from Missoula.
Yeah. Well, how many centenarians did you find?
I have 140 that I have been reported to me.
Yes.
And we have 19 attending this particular conference.
That's wonderful. But now, how do you find them? It's got
Well,
to be tough.
we do a lot of outreach and such with senior centers, but a lot of news releases, and then people like the assisted living centers and retirement centers contact us also, and families kind of watch that. We work pretty closely with the governor's office also.
Well, I remember at one conference there was a centenarian, and if you wanted to talk to her, you had to walk down the halls because she'd get 3 miles in on an exercise bike, and she needed to do it, so keep up. That's great. Okay. But now, what kind of information do you get from the centenarians? Their secret to long life?
Pretty much. The secret to longevity, their favorite quotes, their favorite memories. It's just whatever they like to share with us.
Yeah.
We seek out from them. We do have some centenarians that are World War II veterans, and we celebrate that also.
Oh, that's great. Now, what do they get? I mean, you bring them in for lunch or dinner?
We actually started a centenarian banquet this year because we felt that was a little easier on the centenarians.
Yes.
And the governor's office, or as in this case, the director of DPHHS, Director Hogan, will be coming to celebrate with them, and they get a frame certificate from the governor's office and a picture, and their families come and celebrate with them.
Oh, that's really nice. And I imagine their family is really proud of that too. The family comes along also?
Oh yes, we have one centenarian is bringing 12 family members, family and friends, and we have 75 extra people along with those 19 centenarians. So it's going to be crowded.
Well, that's a good problem.
Yes,
we've got a lot of people here for the conference, and that's great. How do you recruit people to attend the conference?
We announce it a lot through our newsletter, through Aging Horizons actually, and through the assisted living, through senior centers. We just try to get the word out there to any program that has any involvement with seniors.
Well, how much fun is it putting on this conference?
Actually, I enjoy it a lot. It's pretty hectic, but I think it just meets so many needs within the community, and everybody learns so much. So,
and there's so many good people too that you can come across. But this is an opportunity to meet new people too and share ideas, right?
A lot of great networking that occurs here.
Yeah, well, that's really good.
I think so.
Do you know where it is next year?
We are looking at Butte next year in September.
Oh, that's great. That'll be a lot of fun.
A little closer to home.
That's good. And the Advisory Council helps with this, right?
Yes, they do. Actually, they are the ones that sponsor and host this, and we have an 11-member board that is assigned by the governor. That's a mixture of folks 60 and over, and the majority are 60 and over, and there are people that have some interest in aging.
Interest in aging, and we have a Governor's Advisory Council, we have the Governor's Conference on Aging, which we're at right now. 51 years. I don't know if any other conference has gone on that long. So it's got a long tradition. It really helps the people. There's a lot of networking, and maybe you should come or consider coming next year if you did not. There's a lot you can learn, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I was the last guy you'd expect to get diabetes. I was a competitive runner and I always took care of myself, so when I was diagnosed, it kind of threw me. But it's really encouraging to know I'm not alone with it. There are a lot of other people going through the same things as I am. It takes some effort. You have to keep after it. Exercise, meds, and diet are the key, but there are a lot of folks who want me to succeed. Diabetes is not the end of the world. With effort and attitude, you can have a normal life.
Are you looking for a helping hand through the maze of human services, or for information on government programs and benefits that you may qualify for? The Information and Assistance Program provides information on all programs that meet our aging population's basic needs and programs that enhance their lives as well as the lives of their families or caregivers. If you have questions about Medicaid, Medicare, or other services and programs, please call 1-800-551-3191.
Every generation produces heroes, men and women who step forward to defend our country in time of need, no matter the personal cost to themselves. And though we can never fully repay them, we can make sure they have access to low-cost, long-term care when they need it. That's what Montana's Veterans Homes are all about. If you've got a hero in need in your family, call us. We can help.
I take care of my wife at home. When I found out training was available, I said, sign me up. It's made a huge difference.
When my husband was injured at work, it was life-altering. The classes taught me that it's okay to grieve, to ask for help, and to better cope as a caregiver.
My dad lives 4 hours away, and the Powerful Tools classes taught me that it's okay to ask for help. I highly recommend them.
To find out about this course for caregivers, go to powerfultoolsforcaregivers.org.
It's amazing the difference a little training can make.
Welcome back to Aging Horizons. I'm your host, Brian Lamore, and we'll continue our discussion about the Centenarians here at the 51st Annual Governor's Conference on Aging. Joining us for this segment is Barb Smith. She's the administrator of the Senior Long-Term Care Division, which administers the conference. And Barb, tell us about the Centenarians. Why is it important to recognize them?
So Montana has a rich history in honoring those individuals that are over 100 years of age at this conference. And the great part of honoring them is to recognize what contributions they've made to Montana, the events they have lived through, and their wisdom that they can pass on to us.
Yeah. So we're recognizing them tonight at a banquet. And how many are we getting, or how many centenarians in Montana, and how many are attending?
So there are officially 140 individuals over the age of 100. We have 19 joining us today. And one of those will be over the age of will be 110 years old. So, and we also will be having, as our guest, 75 of their closest friends and families are accompanying them to the banquet.
Oh, that's wonderful. And we've done this a number of years. And do they actually look forward to coming to this?
Many of them look forward to coming to it. At this banquet, we'll have the director of the department, Sheila Hogan, giving out the awards of recognition of 100 years of a Montanan, and then also we'll be sharing a little bit of the bio about their stories.
Yeah, and you know, you talk about their story. I imagine there's a lot of interesting stories from these people and how long they lived. Are there any secrets they're sharing?
Sometimes they share secrets, and sometimes they are interesting, the secrets that they share.
Yeah, well, I remember one centenarian wrote that they came to Montana in a covered wagon, and they'd be put to sleep next to the oat box at night, and the horse eating the oats would just abort away from them.
We also have had a wonderful lady from the Flathead who contributes her long life to watching CNN, having a shot of whiskey, and enjoying her Cheetos. So it runs the gamut. But it's very interesting to know since 1919 how much they have seen, what they've been involved in, and even watching the invention of the pop-up toaster.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. Well, just in our lifetimes, it's amazing what we've seen, and we're not that old. But so that's got to be amazing. I mean, we got people on the moon, and we're going back there by another 4 years. They're projecting. So, do the seniors travel very far to get here, or?
I don't know where the farthest one is coming from today, but we do have them totally across the state, rural, urban, just depending on whether they have the support system and the wherewithal to get here. So.
Yes, that's right. Well, now, you're the head of the Senior and Long-Term Care Division. Can you tell us a little bit about what the division does? What's the breadth of its scope?
Well, we are a division of the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services. We do everything from the oversight of long-term care services delivered in the community, delivered in nursing homes. We do all of the work associated with adult protective services for abuse, neglect, or exploitation. We are the investigative body that works with local law enforcement to make sure our seniors are protected. And then last but not least, we house the Aging Services Bureau, which is responsible for providing the services available to individuals over 60 under the Older Americans Act. And then also we work with an Alzheimer's grant and a lifespan respite grant.
And a big generalization, you're advocates for seniors and for people who need our services, right?
Yes, we all are advocates on some level.
Yes. And how much of a budget do you have?
Roughly $300 million.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
A majority of that is in Medicaid services.
Yeah, Medicaid services. Now, how do you deliver the services, or are you reimbursed for the services there?
We reimburse eligible Medicaid providers.
Mm-hmm. And they're across the state. And
in every community.
Yeah, and then there's another division that kind of reviews the quality of the service in the personal care facilities and nursing homes, right?
Right, and that's the Quality Assurance Division, and that's headed by Carter Anderson.
Yeah, so it's a cooperative effort to represent our seniors and make sure that they're getting the best services that they can, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. We protect them. We help them find services. We provide meals. We help them with family issues. We do legal issues. We do Medicare counseling. So we do a lot. And it's hard to list in just one standing.
Oh, exactly. And to understand the scope of how you're touching people in every community, because every community has people receiving these services.
That's correct.
Yeah. And we're promoting by reimbursing Medicaid and nursing homes, we're helping the nursing homes stay around too, aren't we?
We are. We have had some smaller rural nursing homes that are tied to hospitals convert to what we call a swing bed, which allows them to remain in the community with a little less certification pressures, especially when you're in such small communities, to make sure you have that entire infrastructure. So the bed can be used as an acute bed or a long-term care bed, and really benefits the community.
And that's how creative you are in providing these services, because I know you had to get permission from the feds to do that.
Yes, we have to. At one time we did, and we do have to be very creative. We operate all of our programs under, not only Montana law, but some pretty interesting federal guidelines. When not most, but under the Medicaid, 65% of our budget roughly comes from the feds, and so it comes with strings attached.
But it's employment, and it helps our communities, remain, much less thrive, which is wonderful.
Yes, no, lets our 110-year-olds stay in the community.
Well, exactly, and that makes the family happy too, like the 75 members that are attending. They're all concerned about their parents.
And it's a great celebration for them.
Yeah, it keeps them together and shares their stories. So many people lose stories from our older people.
Yes. We need to record those stories.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful. Well, we're drawn to a close on our show. We've been talking about the Senior and Long-Term Care Division, which supports this show, part of the Aging Services. We've talked about the extent of all the services that people receive, and we are very proud to recognize our centenarians here at the 51st Annual Governor's Conference on Aging. Stay tuned. We'll talk to some of those centenarians in the next segment.
Gentlemen, this is a secure federal facility. Do you have your Montana Real IDs?
ID. I am Captain Lewis, and this is Captain Clark.
I'm sorry, I can't let you in.
Can't go into a federal facility, can't fly. Let's go back to the river.
Yes, we'll float home. Let me check the Google. What's a dam?
Discover more at mtrealid.gov.
Montana Real ID. It's the real me.
It was a beautiful day. There was about 2 square feet of ice near the door, which I slid on and fell, cracking one rib. And I became somewhat frightening for me to walk outside, particularly in the winter. The Stepping On program came as kind of a surprise to me. I didn't know about it. I've learned the importance of proper balance. I think anybody who has fallen or is afraid of falling would benefit from this program.
3,000-pound walrus? Good insulation. 10-pound Sphinx cat? Bad insulation. Puffed up cardinal? Good insulation. Naked mole rat? Oh, bad insulation. If your home's insulation isn't all that it could be, the Low-Income Energy Assistance Program may be able to help. Call today. You just might be eligible for weatherization assistance, and that could make your nest a little cozier.
It's been 27 years. I never thought I'd still be smoking, but here I am, COPD and all. I'm about to have a granddaughter. There's so much to show her, but I'm scared I won't be able to keep up like I used to. I kind of gave up on myself on quitting. But it's different now. I want to be here for her and for my daughter.
Welcome back to Aging Horizons. I'm your host, Brian Lamore. This is the third segment, and we've gotten a centenarian to come here and talk with us. And I'd like to introduce you to Helen Riddenbach. You're 102 years old, and you're from Laurel, right?
Yeah.
And you were born there?
Yes.
Wow. Well, tell me some of the changes you've seen in Laurel or even the world in 100 years.
There's a lot of changes, I tell you.
Well, which one maybe you like the best?
I can't even think.
Can't even think? Well, I imagine when you were young, were you on a ranch?
No, my dad was a railroad man.
Ah.
And we lived in Young's Point.
Uh-huh.
And then we moved from there, and I moved to Laurel for a while. And my mother and dad divorced. And then I went to live on the farm with my mother and stepdad.
Ah.
And all we done was work in the fields.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of work to a farm, isn't there?
A lot of work, yeah, too much.
Yeah. Well, I imagine you rode horses back then.
Rode horses, worked in the fields, shocked grain and whatever.
Wow, you're a tough Montana gal. But you had to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoveled wheat from the wagon box into the granary.
Yeah, yeah.
Done that by hand.
By hand?
Yeah.
With a big coal shovel, I mean.
Yeah, right. Scoop shovel.
Scoop shovel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So, did you go to school in a little one-room school?
I went to school at Boyd. At Lone Tree School, little school up on the hill. I went there and lived on the farm.
Yeah.
There.
Did you ride your horse to school?
Oh, no, walked.
Oh, walked.
We walked.
It's good for you, huh?
Yeah.
How far do you think it was?
It was about 2 miles.
That's not too bad. For a
Not
kid.
too bad.
For a kid.
Only winter's bad, though.
Till winter comes. Yeah. You've probably seen some pretty bad winters.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever get snowed in?
Not really.
Not really. Well, did you stay on the farm all your life, or?
No. I left home when I was 17.
Yeah.
And went to work for like farmers' wives, taking care of kids and help cooking and all that stuff.
Oh.
And I worked for them for quite a few years, and then I worked for Pierce Packing Company for a while, butchering chickens, which I didn't like. So I quit that and went back to housework. Doing housework for people.
Oh, that's neat. So, but cooking too. You really like to cook?
Cooked. I cooked for threshing crew. I cooked for a lambing crew.
Well, how many people do you cook for at a time?
At least 20.
At least 20.
20 guys.
Now that's a skill, isn't it?
Yeah, it was all right. So, yeah. Then I got married. My husband and I, moved to we lived in Joliet for a while. Then we went to Red Lodge and we bought us some land. Then we built a log house. Him and I went up in the mountains, got the logs, and built us a log house.
Wow, well, that's amazing. That's tough to do, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a lot of work, but we got it done.
Well, did you go up with horses and a wagon and bring them down?
No, we had a little old Ford with a trailer behind it. That's what we used, and then we started building our house, and then we decided he wanted to get a job, so he went herding sheep. So we herded sheep.
Oh, really?
We went up on the Beartooth Highway, way back on Long Lake, went back way back there and herded sheep all summer.
Oh, wow. Well, did that high altitude bother you at all?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. Only thing that bothered me is the lightning storm.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They could have some nasty. Did the sheep ever get hit by lightning?
No. Mm-mm. No. So that's what we did for a couple years.
Uh-huh.
And then we lived in Red Lodge for a while.
Yeah, then you came back to Laurel, huh?
Yeah, and then we moved to Joliet from Red Lodge, and lived in Joliet for 20 years or so. And then my husband died, and then I went to work at the hospital.
Oh, what were you doing there?
In Red Lodge, housekeeper.
Housekeeper, okay.
In Red Lodge, yeah. I worked there 10 years.
Oh, that's quite a while.
Then I retired from there, went to Laurel, moved to Laurel, and then I went to work at the nursing home. Worked another 5 years, so I was 75 when I retired.
Oh, boy.
So then I took in ironing and sewing.
Oh, okay.
So that was my work towards the end.
Well, it seems like all basic Montana skills that are needed, right?
Yeah.
How to chop a tree down and everything.
Yeah.
But I have here, it says that your secret to longevity is good homemade cooking. You bet you got the food right off the ranch, and there was not a lot of grocery store food.
No.
Yeah.
I never ate, I don't like food that's already made, like TV dinners and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'd rather do my own cooking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, did you have a garden? And
Oh, yes. I had a big garden.
Yeah. And you did preserves, I imagine.
Yeah. And I canned a lot.
Uh-huh.
Canned everything I can get my hands on.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, those taste really good in the winters, but we've had some pretty bad winters back then, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We rode the wagon to town.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all bundled up with under blankets and everything?
Yep. Had bricks on our feet, warmed them up in the oven and put them at our feet.
Well, that's a great idea.
To keep us warm going into town.
And how'd you stay warm coming back?
Yeah, they almost cooled off then. Yeah. So.
Sounds like you've had a great life, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the most amazing thing you've maybe seen?
Well, I don't know, just
We're done.
cooking for people is what I like to do.
Yeah, and they're enjoying your cooking.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the Governor's Conference? Pretty happy to be here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Something different, something new.
Well, everybody's really happy to have you here. I
Well,
want
thank
you
you.
to know.
It's
And,
nice.
We're about to have a banquet at the 51st Annual Governor's Conference on
Mhm.
Aging, and we're so happy you could be here. One of the 19 people out of about 140 people that are centenarians, and I think the oldest one is 110. So
Oh,
thank
my
you for
gosh.
coming. And for our viewers, thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Special thanks to the Department of Public Health and Human Services for their continued support. Hosts on Aging Horizons are program specialists at the Montana Office on Aging. Production facilities provided by Video Express Productions. For more information about Aging Horizons, call the Department of Public Health and Human Services toll-free at 800-332-2272.